Number one, if you remember the picture that I showed about the comprehension and word reading and how they are intertwined, under word recognition, there was decoding and spelling. Wrote spelling every word right. This is conveying a couple of information that just like a poor decoder spends so much time on pronouncing the word ball. So by the time he completes that, when he comes to the end of the sentence, he has forgotten what the first word was. So you have to make decoding automatic so that what we call, it leaves some cognitive space in the head to think about what the sentence is about or what the passage is about. So similarly here, poor writers, they are so concerned about spelling the word right, so they put so much effort, so you can see how that can impact or how that can affect writing the passage or writing the sentences, because they are so hung up on spelling the word right. And also, I might mention it again, but in spelling, especially like starting from say about 3rd or 4th grade, students who know that they are poor spellers, because they don't want to take risks. They know that they are not good spellers, so they will start using the same words. Oh, the weather is good, the food is good. Why should I write the food is scrumptious? This food is really scrumptious. How do you spell scrumptious? So forget about it. I'll just write the food is good. And the walking, is kind of foggy and kind of humid. It may be a little hard to walk, but walking is good on Marine Drive. Instead of saying that, or if you have to say the walking was invigorating, what? How do you spell that? No, I'll just write good. So they'll say the food is good, the walking is good, the exercise is good, because we know how to spell good instead of conveying the different messages. We can, again, the handwriting, the penmanship, they're spending so much time on spelling the word right, and physical act of handwriting that affects their pen. Like there is the simple view of reading with decoding and comprehension, we also have a simple view of writing. You keep some information on hold so that you can get it by the end of the sentence or what you have written before. And so there is the text generation, there is transcription, which includes handwriting, keyboarding, and notice spelling. And then you have to make a conscious effort of planning, reviewing, revising, and self-regulation. So you know the name of one person perhaps, or few researchers who have really done good work on working on writing, or Berninger in the state of Washington, and Fayol, he is retired, but he's in French. And they have done skills were the most stable. They are there all the time. The importance of spelling. And for writing or reading, spelling played a consistent role in all these grades. Here is an interesting study. This was from grades 1 through 3. They followed the same children, and they found was spelling was the most stable measure, and it influenced text information about the orthographic knowledge of the individual student, and that can affect word recognition and reading. And there is kind of a method in English, even though this has all the sounds, but this is the correct spelling because of the morphemic nature of English words. So you have to have miss for these are two different morphemes. That's why we misspell. You know, English has about 700,000 words, and half of them are predictable. So there is good relationship between letter and sound for half of the words, and another 37% they are predictable except for one sound. And so about 10% of, you can say about 10% of English words maybe have to be learned by sight. Other than that, there is a good rhyme and reason for why we spell the way we do. And fortunately, these 10% are mainly high frequency words and easy single syllable. And in language acquisition and in spelling, you need to remember the name of Chomsky said that, English is not 100% correct in it. And the Greeks added vowels to the writing system. And this is the beginning of the alphabetic writing system. And actually, the term alphabet comes from the first two letters. You have to write the letter B based on how it's the square, and then they kind of turn it around. And if you look at the picture of the ox with the yoke and so on, you can kind of see how we have started to write the letter A. So it's just not, somebody just sat there and said, oh, hey, we'll write like this because it looks good. Or, oh, we'll just write B like this. And so they did not make it up. There is a good history